welcome Stan Lee to Salt Lake FanX 2017.
We're here. We can't hear you.
Hello, check, check.
Oh, here he is.
Hey.
No, they're going crazy over there.
Hey, if you guys are annoyed or disappointed that I'm not there, just imagine how I feel. I've been looking forward to attending what I think is one of the great cons of all time.
Stanley, sir, thank you so much. I'm the voice in the sky. My name is Jay. I'll be conversing with you. I'm so glad that you could join us today. This is surreal right now. This is kind of like me meeting the Wizard of Oz right now.
I would have wanted to be there, but I didn't want to spread a flu epidemic all through the state.
He's got jokes. Well, sir,
I don't think you'd have appreciated it.
Well, how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling a little better, thanks. In fact, there's always something good that comes of something bad. I got the name and the idea for a new supervillain, and I can't wait to create him. The fiendish Mr. Flu.
The fiendish Mr. Flu. All right, well,
all he does is make people sick. There's no way to beat him. But I'll find a way, don't worry.
Well, sir, I've got some great people here that want to ask you some questions. But first off, can we get a camera shot? We had Legos. We have a Lego design of you that we wanted to show you. Can we get that on the screen? Can you see that? Is that showing? Confirmation. Hello, can you see it, sir? Can't help it.
In a second. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. They have a Lego image of you, Stan. That's you.
It doesn't look enough like Clark Gable. But it's really good. I love it.
Well, look, glad you enjoy it. I have this young lady that has a question for you, so I'll turn it over to her.
Okay.
Hi, Stan. My name is Natasha. First, I'd just like to say that your comic books really made a change to me in high school. Made a change to me in my while I was in high school. One that really meant a lot to me was Spider-Man. And I know that you had said you liked Andrew Garfield. So how do you feel about Tom Holland taking over Spider-Man?
I think he's going to be just great. Wait till you see him. Oh, and of course my cameo is the most important thing in the movie. And I can't tell you what it is. It'll make you forget Tom Holland.
All right, well, we got some more questions. I'm just going to keep it rolling. Here you go.
Hello. Just wanted to say really fast, you're one of my, you are my personal hero. I'm holding back tears right now. But my question is, out of all the stories you wrote, especially back in the 60s, the original run on Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, etc., which was your favorite story that you wrote back during the Marvel Age? Well, the start of the Marvel Age of comics.
You know, it's hard to remember. I love it. You may not know this, but I'm my biggest fan. I love everything I write. But I think maybe the Fantastic Four was my favorite at the time because it was the first one in the new Marvel style, and it sort of led to everything else.
start and what drove you to become the creator of so many iconic characters that we know and love today?
How did I get my start? And what? I just saw myself. Boy, I look great. Well, of course, if my biggest fan, I would think so. Okay, now what was the question? I forgot it.
What inspired you to get started and to create the iconic characters we know and love?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing that inspired me was I had to make a living. And it was a job. And I felt, oh, I'm going to take this job. It looks cool. It's for a comic book publisher. So I got in there, and I was lucky. I met Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, the creators of Captain America. They were working there at the time, and I learned a lot from them. And I started out very humbly. I erased the pages for them. I filled the ink wells. In those days, they used ink instead of ballpoint pens. I ran down and got them their lunch, and they were great working with. And then one day they left, and I was the only guy in the department. So my publisher said, hey, Stan, can you take care of things till I hire a grown-up? Well, when you're 17 years old, what do you know? I said, sure, I can handle it. So he forgot about the grown-up, and I was there ever since.
Hi, Stan. My question is,
Hi.
you've worked with so many legends like Jack Kirby and John Romita Sr., Steve Ditko. What was it like working with them?
Oh, it was wonderful. When you work with talented people, everything that you give them, they make better than what you gave them. Any story that I gave them, they would add so many little elements of their own that the story turned out even better. I can't tell you how great it is working with very talented guys. And we at Marvel were lucky because we had the most talented guys. As you said, there was there was Kirby, there was Ditko, there was John Buscema, John Romita, and Gil Kane. It goes on. And I was the luckiest guy in the world to have those guys working with me.
How did you get your comic so famous? So that I could know how to be able to try to do that.
Well, I wrote a book called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and I think I've done a lot of books about how to write comics, if you're interested in that. I don't really know what to tell people. It has to mostly be inside of you. If you really want to do comics that much, and if you love comics, and if you read them and you get to know them, and you realize which are the good stories, which are the great stories, which are the not so good stories, and you can tell the difference, then you've got a good beginning, but then it's up to you to just write them, and I wish you a lot of luck.
Hello, Mr. Lee. My name is Kevin. I was wondering, when you were doing your work, did you do anything to specifically compete with DC Comics?
The only thing I did to compete with DC Comics was try to do the best stories that I could and get the best artwork that I could. And obviously they were trying to do the same thing. But we were kind of lucky, and we ended out a little more successful, I'm happy to say.
Hello, Mr. Lee. It's an honor being
Hi.
here talking to you. And I was just wondering, what was your inspiration for Carnage?
Carnage. The thing about Carnage, even though I didn't create that character, I loved the name Carnage. So I tried to feature him all I could. He's a great villain.
Thank you.
I don't like to talk too much about things that I didn't create, because I shouldn't be talking about them. It'll look like I'm trying to get the credit for something else. I try hard enough to get credit for my own stuff.
What was your inspiration for Deadpool?
Deadpool. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But I didn't create Deadpool. Bob Liefeld did. He's a really terrific guy. And you know something? I think Deadpool has one of the best lines in the story where he's standing with a few bullets in his hand, and there are a lot of guys waiting to shoot him, and he says, "I've only got 12 shells. You'll have to share." And I think that line is wonderful. I've only got 12 shells. You'll have to share. So I take my hat off to him for writing that. And if anybody asks how I created Superman, I'm leaving.
What was your inspiration of the creation of the Avengers?
Oh, well, the Avengers were natural. We had so many great heroes. I just had to put them together. Because all that I used to think was, what would I like to see? And I know I would have liked to see all my heroes coming together. So I put our heroes together, and we had the Avengers. And boy, I love that group.
Hi, Jubilee here. My question is, was it intentional to give your Marvel characters everyday human life situations?
Absolutely. What I wanted to do was make my superheroes as believable as possible. And I wanted the reader to know, where do they live? What do they do when they're not chasing villains? Who are their girlfriends or boyfriends? I tried to write these as if I was writing a novel, but it just happened that our heroes had superpowers.
Woo!
Hi, Mr. Lee. So my question is, what Marvel superhero do you feel is the most like you personally?
Oh, they're all like me because they're all strong and brave and wise. And of course, I'm very much like Iron Man because he's so brilliant and good-looking, and I'd like to say I modeled myself after him, but I can only lie to you just so much.
Hi, if you could spend a day with one of your characters, who would it be and what would you do?
Well, if my wife wasn't looking, it would probably be Gwen or MJ. If she's looking, it would probably be, I don't know, Peter Parker.
Out of all of the cameos that you've been doing, what's been your favorite so far?
Oh, my favorite cameo was the one I did for the Thor movie, where Thor offers me a drink, or rather I want a drink that he's drinking, and he says it would be too strong for me. But I ask him for it anyway, and in the next scene they're carrying me out. And the reason that's my favorite, the reason it's my favorite, it's the only cameo I ever did that's 2 scenes.
Hang on just 1 second, please. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah. Did you ever watch this?
I can't hear you. Can you say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, guys.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'd like to ask you, what was it like to host Stanley's Superhumans? Like meeting real people with like actual superpowers?
I loved it. I loved doing that show, and I thought it was a great show. To tell you the truth, I was always surprised it didn't become more of a hit. I think people didn't know about it, because I can't picture anybody not tuning in if they knew. And well, as you can tell, I was very fond of that show. We have a new television show now at Marvel called, no, not at Marvel, at BMI. Stan Lee's Lucky Man. It's a big hit in Europe, and it'll be coming to America pretty soon. So you watch for it. Stan Lee's Lucky Man. I think you'll enjoy it.
Who was your favorite supervillain to create?
Oh, well, in creating them, I think Dr. Doom, because he was practically the first one. I did him for the Fantastic Four. And the thing I like about Dr. Doom is legally, he may not really be a villain because all he wants to do is conquer the world. Now, you could walk up to a policeman and say, "Excuse me, officer, I want to conquer the world." He can't arrest you. It's not a crime wanting to conquer the world. So stop calling Dr. Doom a villain.
Two more questions, guys.
What comic book character was inspired by real-life people?
Well, all of them and none of them. Actually, every character I did, I guess some of the things I think about real people, I put into it. But mostly I was trying to create original characters that nobody had seen before. And I hope that I succeeded.
So I was wondering if you were pleased on the way your characters were portrayed in the MCU.
I couldn't make that out. Oh, I'm delighted. I'm thrilled. Almost, I think every Marvel movie has been a huge hit. The public loves them. I couldn't be happier. And I imagine the fans couldn't be happier either. And we're going to keep on doing those movies. Just wait till you see the newest one that's filming now in Hawaii. No, not the Inhumans, the Unhumans. I always loved the Unhumans, and I'm glad they're going to do a movie of them, because most readers aren't that familiar with them.
Thank you so much. Sir, we know you gotta go. We just wanted to thank you so much for spending your time with us right now here at Salt Lake Comic Con.
Hey, are you kidding? Being with you guys is the best way I can think of to spend any time. You are all wonderful. My favorite fans and my favorite people.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. We hope you get better. Hope you get well. Hope to see you back out here in September. We need you in more cameos.
This little interview was the best medicine I could have had. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.